Hey, it's the Nerdy Sports Fan. We're talking NFL draft grades now that the draft is over. And we're going to start things out with my hometown Buffalo Bills. Man, I do enjoy gloating now and again. And I called Ed Oliver from the very beginning of this process. I just think he's a perfect fit for the team. And I felt that enough teams in front of the Bills were going to do something really stupid that he would fall. Giants, looking at you. But yeah, he's fantastic. He was the top overall draft prospect just about a year ago for this draft. And he didn't get worse, okay? Some other players like Quinnen Williams had fantastic one-season shots. And like I said, other teams did some really stupid things. So Ed Oliver falls to the Bills. Again, called it. And yeah, fantastic pickup. He's going to be great for the long term for this team, for the short term for this team. Pressure on Brady is going to be great for the next few seasons before he retires. And pressure on Sam Darnold and now Josh Rosen is going to be very important as well. So the way the Bills are building, this makes a lot of sense. He's a fantastic player. Love the pick. Now, I felt the Bills were going to go with somebody like a Dalton Risner with their next pick, and I think they should have, but they went with Cody Ford, same position. So I feel like that's a win there. But they were higher on Cody Ford than they were on Risner, obviously. Reports are they were trying to trade up back into the first round to get Cody Ford. Just the cost was a bit too much. He ended up falling to them anyway, which to me is a sign that other teams didn't grade him that high, so they probably should have gone with Risner, again, in my opinion, but they went with Cody Ford, who's an absolute mauler as a run blocker. He can't move so well in pass protection, so I've always felt that he was more of a guard prospect than tackle, but they're talking about putting him at right tackle. We'll see how that goes. Devin Singletary, running back, they picked up at their next pick, 10th in the third round. Personally, I felt they could have gone with a Darnell Henderson, which is what I had them going for in the fourth round, and he was available. So Devin Singletary, I don't like the pick as much, but they like the guy, so whatever. They do need to get LaShawn McCoy the heck out of that building. He's not the best person for a locker room, and he costs too much money. And he's old, so yeah, give him the boot and get some fresh blood in there. So I still like the pick, just I would have preferred Henderson. And then they went with Dawson Knox later in the third round. They traded up to get him. I did feel they needed to address receiving targets in general. I would have preferred a wide receiver through this draft. That did not happen. But Dawson Knox is a fantastic talent. I think he was overlooked a lot because in that offense they had A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. And you're not going to have a lot of tight end targets when you have a bad quarterback and two of the best wide receivers in college football. So, yeah, Knox got overlooked in his own offense, so you're going to overlook him in the scouting process, and I think he's going to be great. I really do. I think he's not going to be, some sort of transcendent talent like a Rob Gronkowski or anything like that, but as far as fit for this offense and where they picked him, I think they're going to get a lot more value out of him than you would expect from a third-rounder in general. Later on, they went with Vosean Joseph, who's a fantastic linebacker out of Florida. He just could not be tested very well in the pre-draft process. So with the combine and pro days, you expect people to run 40s, do shuttle drills, all that sort of thing, so you can see how they move on their own in these workouts. And those sorts of things were very, very limited for Vosean Joseph as he was recovering from injury. A lot of people skipped over him during this process because of that, and they shouldn't have. All right, if you're looking at just game film, and that's it, which is always what I recommend when you are grading these players, Joseph looks fantastic. Personally, I had a third-round grade on him, so getting him this late is great. They've got some special teams depth later on, but hey, big news here is they're filling positional needs. They have a couple of players that I am very high on in Ed Oliver and Dawson Knox. A few players that fit needs that I'm not necessarily as high on in Singletary and Ford. And Vosean Joseph, I think, is a steal at the position they got him at. So giving the Bills a B overall, and woot woot, called Ed Oliver pick months ago. So like and subscribe, and check out the rest of the videos we have going for the remaining team grades.